My manager looked me in my eyes and said,
If I would have been your manager, I would have never selected you. It's just because you're part of this team, I have to manage you.
Today I'm going to share exactly what happened next. The one question that changed everything, and my 3-step system that I use to navigate this without quitting my job or my dreams. If you've ever felt unsafe, unseen, or unwelcome at work, this might be for you. It's 3 p.m., sunny afternoon in San Francisco. I walk into my 101, hopeful, positive peer feedback, senior managers backing me up. And then I ask, what about climbing to the next level? And then a voice, calmly, directly. I would have never hired you if I would have been your manager. It's just because you are part of this team, I have to manage you. I smiled and said, I know. But inside, I was screaming. I want to quit. I was frozen, numb. I wanted to run away and get out of this life. But then I recollected myself. No one is coming to save me. That evening, I attended a colleague's farewell party. The best decision I could have ever made. Because that day I met a lady who listened. And she looked me directly into my eyes and said, Ishwin, no one has the right to say that to you. And she left me with some empowering technique also. That if something like this happens next time, take a pause and ask, can you repeat that? Because this question does something magical. It puts spotlight back on them. It gives them the chance to hear what they said. If it was a mistake, they'll walk it back. If it wasn't, you will know who they really are. Here's what actually worked, the 3-step recovery system. The first step is to reconnect with yourself. I believe this is the most important step because you need to be aware that you are going through a bias. It took me 4 months to understand that I am going through a bias. So the step first that I did was to journal every night, and within a week you will start to notice a pattern of triggers, emotional spikes, or numbing. Then meditate every day for 3 to 5 minutes. I started using apps like Headspace or Balance because they were free. Even those small pauses helped me reconnect with my breath, my soul, and my mind. And remember, burnout isn't laziness. I was waking up hating my work. I was cursing myself why I'm not productive anymore. And that was just because of the burnout. Your body will signal before you get to understand. So your soul is actually screaming that this environment is toxic. Step 2, once you are aware, get crystal clear about what you want. You can't just go to an HR and vent out. That's not how it works. Get crystal clear on what specific outcome are you looking for yourself. Understand who has the power to make it happen. In my case, I didn't want revenge. I wanted my peace and productivity back. I wanted to wake up with the rhythm to enjoy my work every day in a safe space. I didn't want to work for a team where I have to prove my self-worth to my manager every single day. Step 3 is to build your internal coalition. Find your internal sponsors, people with heart and power. Know your org's escalation path. Share not just what happened, but what you need. And this is something disheartening and interesting. You might have to explain your emotional trauma multiple times to various people again and again to help them understand, to help yourself. I find it disheartening because explaining an emotional trauma in a professional setting is much harder than explaining a broken arm. Because you can't just say, it hurts me. You have to say, here's what happened, here's what I want, and here's why it matters. Because it has taken my soul away from me. Eventually, after 2 months of fighting and 4 months of suffering, I was moved to a new team in the same organization. But it wasn't a fairy tale because there were whispers and rumors about my move. It wasn't a safe place either. And it was all during the layoff season when there were no team openings. But then a miracle happened. Only one team and one position, and I got it. That was a victory for me because that was a new product, new organization, and no ties to my past. Even after that, it took me full year to go from why did that happen to me to it happened to me and now I can help and empower others to fight it back. So, if you are feeling unsafe at work, know that you are not alone, you are not dramatic, and you are not wrong. You deserve to work in a place which respects your presence. And always remember using that technique. Can you repeat that? That's going to save you the very first time bias happens. And next week, I'm releasing a video on can you repeat that technique to implement it in 5 different workplace scenarios so you have an example of how to use it for yourself. And if you want more personal and empowering stories, I share them on LinkedIn. If you yourself have a story and don't want to share it publicly, my DMs are open on LinkedIn because no one has to go through this alone.